2014, the NES HD IQ series has an all-new GUI interface. Let's have a look at the icons. If we drag our mouse to the left, we'll see a little toolbar come up here, and we'll go through the different icons. So this icon means the different views, matrix view. So we could have 4 cameras on the screen at once, 9 cameras, or all 16, and a couple of varieties in between. If we go down to our next icon, this is for sequencing. So this allows us to view a single camera as a sequence, 4 camera in sequence, and a couple of varieties there as well. As we come down to our spot monitor, the DVR has a spot monitor output, and it allows us to change what is able to be viewed on that spot monitor output. So we've got a couple of different variations, including 4 cameras, single camera, or 16 cameras on this 16 camera DVR. And as we come down to this alarm icon, we can turn inputs and outputs off, as well as relay outputs on and off. So this is alarm input number 1, so we can turn that on if we wanted to send an alarm output onto a relay. Or down here we've got the relays, so we've got 2 onboard relays, and that might feed into an alarm system or something like that, and you want to test out whether it's working, whether the wiring's working. So if we were to click this, it will turn on the relay and the output of the DVR. This turns the OSD on and off, and you can see just there that the time and some of the information from the DVR is then turned off. Turning it back on, and you can see that come back up on the screen. If we wanted to pause a scene, so we've got a car going through, as you see there, once I press the pause button, it just freezes instantly what's on the screen, and as we press it on again, it will. Icon down here is the bookmark. So if we wanted to create an event in the log, not an alarm event, but a bookmark event, so what that means is you might see something on the screen, you want to bookmark it for later, then what we can do is we can come down to this little icon here, seen somebody that you think you know that you want to follow up on, and that will save it into the log. And it comes important later when you go to search, because you can search by bookmarks. Now this alarm icon down the bottom is for triggering a panic event. So let's say you do have the DVR set up for certain events, such as when there is an alarm occurs, it sends out an email or it sends off an alarm. You might want to immediately make that happen. So there might be lots of movement on the screen. You don't want that as a normal alarm event, but in this case you do want to set it as an alarm event. You can trigger this, and it will immediately put the DVR into an alarm event mode. So let's have a look on the other side now, and this is more around the system itself. This first icon is a very important one and a great addition to our DVR. Once we press that, all of the relevant information about the DVR is displayed. So we can see that camera 1 has audio turned on. There's 4 cameras connected at the moment. We can see the capacity of the hard drive, the amount used, the temperature of the hard drive, whether there's any warnings, whether we formatted it, whether it's writing, the start and end time of the recording. It tells you what the firmware is and the MAC address of the DVR, including the IP address. So this is a great little information page, just one click to view all that relevant information. Our next icon is our system events. So if we wanted to save all the system events to a USB, we can do that. And we can delete them, so that if we were installing a DVR and we wanted to delete the log, make sure it's current, then we can do that as well. So that's a nice little feature that can be entered into from the main page. Our next icon is our setup icon, and this allows us to get into the setup menu. What they've done here is created an F-style menu, and if you're not familiar with that, it means that any setting is available with just 2 clicks of the mouse. So if we wanted to change a device setting, we click on the device icon, we can go down to the camera, press that, and then we can change the camera. So it only requires 2 clicks to get to anywhere in the menu. Let's exit that. The next icon down is if we wanted to do any searching, and we'll come back to that later for a more detailed look. If we wanted to archive some information, we come down to this icon now. This is our archive menu. So it's just a simple matter of, okay, I want to archive channel 1, time frame, to and from, where we want it exported to, and in what format we wanted to export it in, whether it's AVI or exe, and the name of the file. Next one down is if we wanted to lock up the buttons on the DVR. I won't do that at the moment. If we wanted to restart it. And finally, this last icon is if we wanted to shut down the DVR for any reason. For example, if we wanted to do a maintenance on the DVR, replace a hard drive, add a new hard drive, anything like that, we can just press the shutdown button there. And that concludes the brief look at the new GUI for the NES HDIQ series.